Well, I would say the revolution freed private initiatives, which led to an increase of the number of projects in most artistic and cultural fields, visual arts, of course, but also cinema, music, fashion, design, handicrafts also. So this strong cultural dynamic, in addition to something like a youthful spirit, improved the conceptual design of these projects, as well as their artistic quality. To get a chance to be supported by private foundations and public financing programs, which after revolution were many to focus on the Tunisian artistic scene, cultural operators felt the necessity to improve the management of their projects by applying to training programs. And as a result, we get more diverse, more innovative projects, but also with a higher standard of quality management. Thank you, Venetia. Well, La Boîte is a nonprofit organization for the support of contemporary art in Tunisia. It has been founded in 2007 in this 25 square meters venue, created in the heart of a company's headquarters in an industrial district of Tunis. So that's why it's very difficult to find out, actually. Here we produce, we exhibit, and also we acquire works by Tunisian artists who we believe deserve to be supported and promoted. So at a pace of 4 to 5 exhibitions a year, we give to our audience, that is the company's employees, an opportunity to discover conceptual artworks dealing with various topics. So some of these works are political, as Cette fois c'est fini, this time it's finished, or Seven is finished, an exhibition by Hichem Dries, gathering over 100 photos of propagandist works dealing with the figure 7, which was the symbol of the regime of the former President Ben Ali, who came to power in November 7, 1987. So these works that have been destroyed during the revolution were produced not only by the party, but also by ordinary people searching for protection, like this kindergarten at your right, named Kindergarten November 7. Mysticism is another topic dealt with by artists of La Boîte, like Melik Mewi, Nissen Santini. Here we have an example with Dhikr, an installation by Haytham Zakaria, made with a series of 99 mechanical counters. These counters display the numerical values of the 99 names of Allah, Asma Allah al-Husna, the most beautiful names of God. Each numeric value displayed in the counter corresponds to the sum of the value of the Arabic letters used in each name. So by carrying out each numerical value on each counter, by repeating the click gesture, there's a kind of trance or spiritual connection to Allah, to God, that is created, and that is enhanced also by the rhythmic sound of the click itself. There are also works presented in La Boîte that relate to social issues, like this work by Farah Khalil. There is a video titled Bruit or Noise, an animation based on 22 dotted sentences extracted from a learning manual of the Arab language. Each sentence refers to a moral value or principle, like educate children is more valuable than building houses, for example. So here, these dotted sentences are displayed one after the other according to a certain rhythm, and they end up parasitizing each other, forming a sort of white noise, something that cannot be perceived or understood anymore. There are also more individual or personal topics that are presented also in La Boîte with artists like Fakhri Larzel or Walid Ben Ghazela. Here we have an example with The Zone, a large format figurative painting of Nabil Sawebi that is inspired by a sequence extracted from the film Stalker by the Russian filmmaker Andrei Tarkovsky. In this sequence, the three main characters, as you see of the film, the stalker, the physician, and the writer, stand in a forbidden territory, the zone, trying to find their way to reach the room of desires, which is the room that fulfills the desires of those who succeed in reaching it. In this painting remake, let's say, of the movie, Nabil Sawebi emphasizes the atmosphere of danger, adding elements such as the nettles in the front, the black mountain in the rear, a danger warning sign on your left, and also a helicopter. The sound also with the subtitle giving to the still image like a second dimension. Well, here are a few examples of works exhibited in La Boîte, but La Boîte is not only a platform to support the creation and experimentation, it is also a cultural mediation tool, which is aimed at reaching a wider, a new and diverse audience, like the one we're trying to reach in Gabes through Gabes Cinema Fan. Gabes Cinema Fan is a moving image festival founded in 2019, revolving around three sections: cinema, video art, and virtual reality. It takes place in Gabes, a southeastern city of Tunisia, that is facing huge ecological and economic issues. The video art section, which La Boîte is in charge of, is named El Kazma due to its location in El Kazma beach, near Casemate, that is in French, a bunker of the Second World War, you can see on your left. El Kazma is an installation of several bunkers or containers set in front of the sea on the Corniche of Gabes, according to a scenography made by Melik Newi, the artistic director of the video art section. The videos are projected in the containers, but also in the cafes of the city and also in l'Agora, which is a building of the 60s, used to be the house of the party at the time of the presidents Bourguiba and then Ben Ali, and which was partially burned down during the revolution. So to give you an idea of the kind of videos that are exhibited in El Kazma, I chose two excerpts of two works, Revenir, or Return by Nisser Santini, and Revers, Back by Smail Bahri. Revenir or Return is a video of Nisser Santini made in 2006 based on a family archive, a black and white photo of a family, the father and his 10 children, posing in the sun in front of the camera of the photographer. And suddenly this zoom in on the door, ajar, the face of a child in the background, left behind in the shadow, a ghostly presence enhanced by the whisper sound, and it's like a scream, the scream by Munch. It's a kind of... Here, Revers, it's a video by Ismail Bahri made in 2012, a page of a beauty magazine, the image or representation of a woman here, literally turned into dust. Thank you very much. Well, I don't think I have to compare myself to, the public effort to promote art in Tunisia, because they have huge means, which I have not. I do little by little what I can. So I go to the audience's place of living or work, and I bring to them art, because I know that these institutions do not offer as many as exhibitions as they can. There are no museums in Tunisia of contemporary art or modern art, you know that very well. And so we try to bring to these audiences this the contemporary art, because contemporary art do not have this window, or place to be shown to young people, or to people who have not this habit to go to art because of geographical constraints or because of cultural factors. So it is a very interesting experience, because we are doing this since 2007 in La Boîte, but also since 2019 in Gebis. So for example, in Gebis, we had this physical edition in 2019, and it was very interesting to see how the audience was welcoming this exhibition. Video art is a very complicated medium. It's not easy to understand how a video can be an artwork. So I had to introduce the medium, which was a first step, and then introduce the work of the artist we were showing in El Kazma. So that was really challenging, and surprisingly, they did not have a particular issue with the content. They understood very well that video art is not necessarily a story, that it is something that can be about the air of time, or something emotional, or not really around based on a structured narrative. So we also give the opportunity to mediators, to students from the fine art schools of Gabes, to mediate, to present these works. So we give them also the opportunity to involve in the artwork and to discuss with the artists, so to better present the work. And this is also very interesting to build such an experience with them throughout the year, I must say.
Thank you very much, Fatma.
I have a question from the audience. Would you mind if I just brought it in now? Because it relates actually a lot to what Fatma has been saying, and also to Selma. So it's from Robin Keeley, British Tunisian Society. Thank you, Robin, for this question. So he's asking, what is the ideal balance in your view between state and private patronage for the art? And there's a follow-up question, but we just start with that. Both for, I think this is one for maybe for Fatma and Selma. What is this ideal balance between state and private patronage?
I think we are complementary. We should not compete with each other. I'm not in competition with the state, absolutely not. I respect very much the state initiatives. They do as they can, but anyway, we are also feel free to do, to organize exhibit and to show people conceptual artworks, maybe that have not a real, place, in the institutions, public institutions of Tunisia. So I really understand that some artists are angry with the lack of institutions, and we have to find a way to work and interact with these artists, so they can also introduce them in the international in fairs and presented by the public state. But this is not the case. So that's why Selma Fadiani is doing a very good job, in promoting Tunisian artists abroad. This is something, unfortunately, the public institutions do not This is the main issue. Otherwise, I mean, there are exhibitions everywhere, of course, with various standards of quality, but it's normal. I mean, it's everywhere. So I think each of us have to do what is what we are able to do, and not criticize each other or feel I mean, in competition with the other.